number 13, round number 2. Pierre Costes is in the red singlet. He's taking on Jake Stone in the white. Yeray Martinez is out there in yellow, and Jason Finlay, our wild cards, in the blue. Jason put in a good performance yesterday, Greg. I sat back and watched his heat. I like watching Jason Finlay serve. He's a very calculated sort of competitor, and he was, pretty wise with his wave selection. He didn't catch a lot of waves, but the ones that he did catch were pretty good scorers. I think he finished up second, and it'll be interesting to see how he plays it out in this one.
Yeah, most definitely. Said he's made the headlines with all his free surfing, and now he's focusing his attention a little bit more on the competition scene, which is great to see. But mate, I'm excited about this heat. Look at this: Pierre Costes versus Jake Stone versus Yeray Martinez. The whole scenario is just amazing. You see a couple of the riders from the previous heat coming in. Yeah, navigating those rocks.
Oh, I tell you what, I went down there for the first time this morning. I actually decided to take the scrappy little stairs down the side of the cliff here. It's a bit of you got to be like a mountain goat to get down there. But I watched those guys come in and out across the rocks there with a bit of swell, and I tell you what, I take my hat off to them because it really is quite extreme down there. Just actually trying to negotiate your way in and out of the break. We've got a guy called Jonah watching in Australia. He's just wanted to do a shout out to the only bodybuilding club in Victoria at Mornington Peninsula. So g'day Jonah, hope you're enjoying the action, mate. There's Yeray Martinez on his first one.
Yeah, the local, he knows his wave better than anyone, I hazard to say, and he's nothing on offer there. He'd be a bit disappointed, I guess. He would have wanted a stronger start, but first minute of the competition, of the heat for him. As you see, Terry, the tide's come in. It's approaching the high tide, and it's getting a little bit fuller there. And it's still got that cross-shore wind. It's creating some ramps. The last heat was a little bit slower. Let's see what this comes up. But as we've seen here, we have a busy heat, then we have a quiet heat. So the Jake Stone's looking to get busy here. Let's see if he can paddle into this one.
Yeah, well, Jake's into it, and as we mentioned yesterday, a lot of he's from up on the sunny coast, and have a look at that. It's a nice little invert to just kick off his campaign. Unfortunately, just couldn't hang on to the board, but we did mention yesterday that those guys from the sunny coast have always been, great, great surfers, and anywhere where someone comes from a wave-starved location, I guess in surfing you could equate it to Kelly Slater. Really comes from Florida. There's no waves there, but he's one of the best surfers in the world. And if you can ride a small wave good, you can ride it. It's easy to ride a big wave. Anyone can ride big waves. Riding small waves really works out the technique and your style. You've got to have your biomechanics have got to be on the money. And, if you have a sloppy style in small waves, it's going to hurt you for your momentum and stuff. But I do believe we've got Dave Winchester here. So, mate, I've just jumped in and out to quickly say good day. So I hope you're enjoying the webcast, folks. We've got Dave Winchester here. Greg's going to delve into the mind of one of the world's best, and I'll look forward to seeing you down the line.
Yeah, cheers, Terry. You'll be back straight after that, so we look forward to getting you back. And keep the messages coming. Terry's got the laptop here, and so if you want to have a shout-out to anyone, Terry, myself, Winnie, any questions for Winnie, please let us know, and we'll bring him into the commentary booth now. But thanks, Terry.
All right, thanks, Greg.
As we said, there you see the situation. Very slow start to this heat. Only 3 minutes in, but Jake Stone with that first wave, the incomplete, but it was a 1.5, enough to push him into first place. But, really, and the Yeray Martinez had that 1.0 wave, so still yet to unfold. But it's such a fascinating heat. You got Pierre Costes sitting there. He's up on his first wave now, up and riding. You can see it looks a little bit drawn back the camera as we go back, and nothing on offer. You can see the waves have really slowed down as that tide's coming in, and we've seen 3 waves, and we won't see a score probably over 1.5. So hopefully the action heats up, but the action's heating up here in the commentary booth because we've got Dave Winchester. Welcome, Winnie.
Hey, how you going, Greg?
Good, mate. Good. You haven't surfed yet today?
Not today. I'm heat 8, so I got a long wait. So I thought we'd get in here again and commentate on a few of the boys' heats.
Good stuff. Look at this heat, hey? You've got Jake Stone, Pierre, Yeray, and Jason.
Oh, it's a stacked one. We've got 2 backflip kings in Jake Stone and Pierre, so that'll be pretty interesting. And Finlay's such a great surfer out anyway, so I mean he's going to be busting. And then Yeray, the local. I mean, this is sort of wave where it's like Shark Island. The locals know it best, and I mean these guys, the locals here, they know it the best.
Yeah, no, for sure. We'll have a quick shout out to a couple of the sponsors of the event. We've got NMD, Pride, Stealth, who have come on as naming sponsors, which is great. And as our media partner, Grand Flavour. For you, Winnie, I've got sort of a few foots in either of those camps, riding for NMD and for Grand Flavour.
And Stealth.
And, mate, you've got ticking all the boxes. So you must be stoked to have those guys on board.
Yeah, so here goes someone. Who's this?
Yeray.
See the big local with a big flip out of the bowl there. That's a nice scoring wave to start his campaign. He had one to start off, but it looked like a good wave. But then that one there just showing us, the local shows how it's done.
We just had Pierre on the left there. We'll hopefully catch a replay of that. But yeah, very strong wave by Yeray Martinez, and I'd say that'd be the highest scoring wave so far. I'd yet to see Pierre's wave, but it's gone. Let's have a
pretty clean section there, and then he just went up pretty early and he just flung out, threw the legs out a little bit, but still landed it cleanly. So got the full rotation, and the judges love that. They love the full rotation, regardless of the leg situation, really.
Yeah, and you'll see his scores coming to drop there, but here's Jake Stone up and riding. When you talk us through this one?
Looks like he's looking for a little bowl on the second wedge of the reef here, and he just gets a little reverse off the end, but I mean, you're going to want bigger than that, Jake. You get back out there.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of time left, but yeah, Jake Stone, one of the excitement machines, he said he's got a few new tricks up his sleeve, so you know, if the conditions do turn on, he's capable of doing anything.
Yeah, he is. He pulls out anything out of anywhere. Yesterday I had a heat with him, and he was a bit rattled. He was paddling around like a madman. He didn't have many good scores, so he ended up getting 2 good ones and getting a second, but I'm sure he wants to get a first or a second here to be sort of in the clear coming into round 3.
Was it right in hearing that it was the first time he'd surf Fronton yesterday?
Yeah, he surfed it first in the morning for about half an hour, and before the comp started, and he came in and he was like, this is the best wave ever.
Yeah.
And then so he went back out there for his heat, but yeah, I guess the conditions yesterday deteriorated, and we'll heat 6, and it was a little bit windy, but I mean, here goes Pierre here.
Yeah, Pierre up and riding, looking for his first strong wave. Nice little flip, just a little bit on the end section there. His first scoring wave was at 1.0 on that little fat right, but then he got that left and got a 3.75. We'll wait for the scores to drop on that, but at the moment we've got Yeray Martinez in first, Pierre Louis Costes in second. He's looking for a 3.51 to jump into first place. We'll wait for the scores to drop from the judges and make a call. And Pierre has jumped into first with a 4.0, but now we have the last week winner up there with Shaggy. Over to you, Shaggy.
Down here is Jeff Hubbard, the winner of the last heat. Jeff, congratulations, 2 in a row, huh?
Yeah, thanks, Shags. I'm so stoked just to be through the leaderboard and be into the next round. You know, it's pretty psyched having, being safe like this. And, yeah, that was such a tough heat. Had Jared Houston, he probably had the highest heat score yesterday. He was ripping, and so I knew he was going to be hard to beat out there. And Sergio Alonso, that kid's kind of really unpredictable. So I was trying so hard to get some good waves, and I got a real good one off the bat, and then kind of couldn't get past the 5s forever, like just stuck in these 5-point waves for like the longest time, and then finally like my last wave had a really good invert and just sealed it with like a 8-point ride almost. So I was stoked.
You also had a good Mayores, eh?
Yeah, my first wave was just such a good way to start off. I just took off and had just a big flip out of the bowl and landed solid, and so psyched to get that just right on the fur buzzer, basically, like, right off the buzzer, like a 7. 7s are pretty hard to get out here today. The conditions are really tough, so when I had a 7, I was like, oh, okay, that's good way to start.
It's hard, yeah, it's good foundation to build on.
Yeah, for sure, Shags. That's psyching.
So now you're into round 3, 12 points. Congratulations. You can go and relax, hey?
Yeah, I can enjoy the rest of the day and just watch all the excitement. Just want to say hi to everyone back home, friends, family. Yeah, love you guys. Come on.
Back to you guys.
Shaggy in there. Look, Jeff Hubbard, a stoked man, a focused man. He's on track to secure himself another world title. He's got 12 points winning. That'll be enough to see him through to round 4, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it will be. He can have a break now and just relax, as he said, this afternoon, and enjoy the rest of the contest. But going into round 3, he just must feel really good, and you're going to see him explode in round 3, I think, because he's got nothing to lose. Well, he's got the world title to lose, but nothing to lose in that heat. So he's going through the top 16, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, no, look, it's all shaping up. You got the scores there. Yeray Martinez, during the interview, popped a nice right-hander and got a 5.0 for that. That leapfrogs him back into first position. But here's Pierre up and riding.
Oh, it's a nice little reverse there, but it's going to be tough to make. Jace Finlay must be... He's in combo land, so he's just sitting out there waiting. So he must have priority, so I think he's just waiting for one of those bombs, and hopefully we can see him get one here.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday. Jace took a similar strategy. He just sat there, and I think he only got 2 or 3 scoring waves, but it was enough to get through to a second. And then you see a lot of other guys get really busy. What's your strategy here? When conditions like this, do you get busy? Do you wait for the bomb?
It's a sort of tough situation. Everyone's going to wait in that first 10 minutes, but I found yesterday that getting busy actually worked better. So I got busy at the start, got a couple of good scorers, and then I had priority for the last 7 minutes in the heat, but I actually couldn't even get a wave, so I didn't catch one more wave. So I think in this situation, you just want to get really busy out there. And I mean, look at Yeray, the local, he's getting busy and he's winning.
Yeah, no, definitely. But Chase Finlay looks like he just dropped a 0.5. We didn't see that one. Must have just been an in and out, but he would have lost priority doing that. So he's back out there, but still a long time to go. 20 minutes is, a long time. He definitely get 2 good scoring waves in that period.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch Pierre and Jake in this, because here goes Jake. He's looking for a little flip bowl or something, but not much to offer. But Jake and Pierre have the biggest rivalry on the whole tour out of anyone. And I don't think Pierre's even beaten Jake in a heat yet. So
Yeah,
I think it's like 4 or 5 nil. So it'll be pretty interesting.
Yeray fighting the left there and not a lot on offer. But yeah, we remember that in Reunion Island. We pulled that stat in that they'd met 3 times prior. But here's Jake Finlay winning.
Here we go. He's looking for a big invert out of this, I'd say, and he gets one. Nice, clean invert. It's what you need to start the campaign. There's 18 minutes to go, so it's easily enough time to build on that.
Yeah, look, that's a solid start for Jason. I'm sure it says that he'll go back and build on that. But yeah, interesting to talk about that rivalry. I think there's a bit of that young crew. You hear Jared Houston talk about it, and a couple of those guys around that 21 years of age. They're all really sort of vying to be that next big thing, and great competition. I'll have a look at Jace Finlays again.
There's a nice clean section. Jace hits inverts so cleanly, and so he's going to get big scores. Even though he's more of a free surfer these days, I think we'll want to see him in a few more contests in the future for sure.
Yeah, no, I was speaking to Jay Sully in this competition, and he still wants to continue with his free surfing, but he is putting more focus on some competitions. And there you see him there. He's only young. He's 25.
25, nice metro haircut. Look at him, the old Bondi cut.
Yeah, no, he's a style master, isn't he? Out of the water, he's got it all down pat.
No, he's a good bloke.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah, one of the more likeable guys getting around. You don't hear many bad things about him. But there's Mike Stewart winning. That's another fascinating scenario. At the moment, Mike finished with a 4th in the first round. He's sitting 19th at the moment. At least he can get through to round 4. We're probably going to see the back of Mike Stewart for the World Tour next year. So this is going to be critical, this next heat.
Yeah, Mike's definitely in the pressure cooker, and he's going to have to pull something out here. He thrives in conditions that are like nice barrelly tubes, but look at that heat. He's got Ryan Hardy, Mitch Rawlings, and Hugo. That is tough, so Mike's going to have to pull something out of the bag here, I think.
Yeah, there's just no easy heats, but yeah, Mike really wouldn't have been too happy waking up knowing he had Ryan Hardy, Mitch Rawlings, and Hugo Pinheiro. He needs to pretty much win this heat to keep his hopes alive. So, or maybe a second place, and he can finish with a win in the 3rd round, but definitely at least a second place. And because look how focused he is there, he'd be working out his strategy.
Pierre, there we go, the flip king. Can he make this? He makes them all.
Yeah.
Well, most of the time, but that one just, I think the little mushroom reef, that water draws over it so quickly, and it's just really hard to make some moves sometimes.
Yeah, and look who we got here, Hardballs Hardy. He's you're staying. I think you're staying with Hardy over here. How's his mind? How's his frame of mind for this world title race?
Oh, it's pretty good. He was up at 3:30 last night in the morning. He drove into Las Palmas to get some internet for a Skype date. So I don't know how. He's pretty tired, but he looks all right now. And me and Mitch were up at 12 o'clock because little Groms were stealing our weddies off our railing.
Oh, you kidding?
They pinched my one, so Mitch couldn't get to sleep back till about 1:32, he said. So they'll be right, I think. They'll man up.
So what, they climbed up, because you're up on the first level,
Yeah.
And
they pulled a 2 metre metal pole out and fished it off there.
Oh, you're kidding.
And
I hope you had a backup.
Yeah, I've got a backup actually, so I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Same as Ryan one's right there.
Oh, there you go, Reflex. Shout out to the guys at Reflex. But no, shout out to Grand Flavour. I said just one of your sponsors here supporting the event. Tell me a little bit about the background of the company. I think you're one of the founding sort of members or finders of Grand Flavour. What's the tell me just about the culture and what you're trying to achieve with Grand Flavour.
Just me, Ben, and Chad started up the company a few years ago just to really build it as a bodyboard brand and a core brand and clothes we wanted to wear.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll go on further. Let's have a look at the latest ad from Grand Flavour. Some amazing stuff that's been put together, but let's have a quick look here. We saw it was actually an ad from Stealth again. We've got so many sponsors of yours to choose from, Winnie. But where was that left?
That was in Puerto Rico. It was a little lay day for the contest. I think it was a bit big, and we didn't really know where to surf. And before the winds came up, we just found this sort of beachy / reef up the coast. And yeah, we got some amazing waves that day. It was pretty fun. The paddle outs were a mission, but yeah, we loved it.
Yeah, it looked like it was worth the effort once you saw that footage. That was amazing. And yeah, back on Grand Flag, they've got a bit of a special going on at the moment with the free international shipping. Talk us through that.
Yeah, well, if you spend $200 on the website grandflavor.com, you get free international shipping anywhere. So, I mean, it's a pretty good deal.
Wow, for sure. Here's Yeray up and riding. Current heat leader, but there's nothing on offer for him there, Winnie.
It's just that wind gets to a couple of those rights, so you've got to choose the waves wisely. But Jace Finlay with that invert got a 6.5 before, and he's in third, but he only needs a 4.75 to get to first. Yeah, so tough out there. So if he lucks into one, he could jump up, but otherwise he's back to the gong.
Yeah, Jace is from the south coast, and there's one of the contenders, Ryan Hardy, getting ready for his heat. He ended up with a win yesterday, I believe, so he was looking for a nice first or second assist to confirm his place in the in the round of 16 and keep the world title dream alive.
Yeah, he'd love to ease a bit of the pressure off, wouldn't he? Just with a first or a second here, but oh, here goes Finlay. Nice little barrel there, spin out of the pit, so you'd have to say he'll jump up to the top now.
Oh, you think 4.75 would put him in first place, and yeah, fair to say. Well, let's see what the judges have to say, but hasn't been many barrels on offer this heat, so I'm sure they'll score that up, and that was a nice solid wave. But what are your thoughts on the world title race, Winnie? I know, obviously Ryan Hardy's a friend of yours, but how do you see it playing out?
The way I see it playing 3 comps in a row that he's been in, so he is on fire there. He's got the replay of Jace here. Nice little cover up, and you think he's just going to come out, but he actually whips a quick forward in, which is pretty skillful. So yeah, we'll see good scores coming in. But yeah, back to the world title race. I mean, it comes down to Hub, whoever's man-on-man against him after the 16. You see he's got 2 firsts already, so he's through. So we're going to have to see whoever comes up against him. If he can beat him there, then the other guys have a chance. If not, it's going to make it a lot harder. But, I mean, look at the top 4 guys. Those guys all surf this wave incredibly. So Hardy was really on yesterday afternoon. Yeah. So hopefully we can see some form from the Aussie boy and bring the flag home.
I think it's fair to say, a lot of people list Ryan Hardy as their favourite bodyboarder. He's just, a lot of people model their style on him and have just followed him for over a decade, and I'm sure he'd be a very popular winner. But as I said, he's basically got to rely on Pierre and Hub to fall over. But well, the scenarios are we've actually got it. So with Hardy, if Hub can make the final of this event, nobody can beat him. So he holds all the keys. But then with Hardy, Hub gets knocked out in the quarters, and Hardy goes on to win, and Pierre doesn't make it through to the final. Hardy can still win this. So he's in with every chance. It's not an unrealistic scenario. And when you go to that round of 16, man on man out here with the quality of the riders we have, anyone can win.
Yes, they can. So anyone could beat Jeff in this situation, but it is looking. My money. I mean, your safe bet would be Jeff, but only because he's in front as well. But the other riders could take him down definitely.
Yeah.
Jace Finlay got a 6.5 for that last barrel, so he's clearly in front now. And look at him, he only catches 3 waves, but 2 of them being good, so he does play the waiting game, doesn't he, Jace?
Yeah, so for someone who hasn't done as much competition as some of the others, but he's surfing like a seasoned competitor. He's just playing it smart, picking off the good ones, and puts him on 13 points and jumps to the first. But here's Jake Stone, Winnie.
Stoney's going to need a good score here, and he just gets a roll off there and just can't make it. He's having a shocker, you'd say.
Yeah, I guess he said he hasn't got as much experience as this wave as some others, and he's still feeling his way. But there's Pierre, big flip.
Big flip back into the pit. My gosh, this will be a good score.
Wow, he needs a 9.0 to jump into first, and a 7.25 to jump into second. Well, my guess is it's going to be somewhere in that range, but let's have a look. There's Yeray Martinez, little invert. He's trying to better a 5.0. That mightn't do it. But, yeah, let's see what the judges, how they score Pierre's last wave. But, yeah, big, nice flip. And as you said, he whipped it straight round into the pit.
Yeah, I don't even know how he did that. He must have just jammed it on the inside rail really hard and just got back in. There's Mitch. Look at that buff, the buffy hair.
He had a frustrating heat yesterday. He was yelling and screaming, and unfortunately finished 4th in his heat. So hopefully he can bring it all together for this one.
Yeah, before we went to bed last night, I said to Mitch, I was like, how was that scream, Rocky? And he was just like, don't bring it up. He goes, I just take it too seriously. It's like the end of the world out there. I was like, that's all good, mate. We all want to win, you know.
Yeah, no, look, he's a naturally competitive guy, and I think as much as anything, a lot of the guys aren't in. I was speaking to Ben Player about this yesterday as well. Even though they're not in the world title race, they've got such high expectations this wave. It's such a high performance wave. They just want to put on a good show.
Yeah.
And I think the frustrations as much just not being able to surf their best in front of the global audience.
Yeah, it is. Everyone, I mean, no matter what situation you're in, you just want to win this event. The wave's amazing, so it's probably the heaviest on tour. Well, it is definitely the heaviest on tour, so Pierre just dropped a 7.0 for that backflip to pit, so...
Okay, wasn't enough for him to jump into first, so he's still sitting in 3rd position. So first place, but as you see on the screen here, Red Bull supporters of Wings for Life. It's a spinal cord research foundation. As you know, Red Bull TV, a great media partner of the IBA, and what this association is, Winnie, is they're raising funds and awareness for spinal research. Oh, might need some spinal research for Pierre after that one.
No.
But yeah, no, look, a great cause, and you see wingsforlife.com. Get onto the website there and check that out. But it's very interesting. But yeah, let's have a look there. But talking of broken backs, Michael Novy, he had a pretty unfortunate incident. Was it earlier? It was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last year. And Jeff Hubbard, you can see in the background there, he also had a little broken back.
Okay.
So there's been a few of the boys. Chatty Jackson had a big one. Oh, Yeray, big roll through the lip there. He's going to need to get something a bit better than that, though. As we saw in that last one, Pierre did that invert. He only needed a 4.25. I think he would have got it if he landed. It'd be nosedive. But before it even come up, he was checking the time on his watch. You see that?
I saw that, yeah.
I've never seen anyone do that.
Yeah, he's focused, isn't he? Like I said, most people would be talking about that wipeout over a beer with their mates, but let's have a look at this wipeout here.
So it's a nice clean lip. He hits it nicely, kind of straight to the flats, not much height, but he just nosedives and then wait for the time check. Hopefully we get the replay of the time check.
Yeah, because if you hold on to that replay, I know it was, but as soon as he come up, the first thing he did was look at his watch, and he would have had a look. And as we see now on the time, there's 7 minutes remaining. Jace Finlay, he's in the lead. Yeray Martinez in 2nd, needs a 6.75 to jump back into 1st. And Pierre is currently in 3rd, needing a 4.25 into 2nd, 6.0 into 3rd. Pierre would win. I'm guessing Pierre would at least want to finish 2nd in this one, because otherwise he puts a lot of pressure on himself in round 3.
We've seen Pierre be on the pressure cooker a couple of times, and it seems like he just thrives on it. He ends up winning the heat and getting through. But I mean, this contest has got a lot more riding on it, so it'd be interesting to see what happens with that if it does go to that. But as we said, he only needs a 4.25 to go to 2nd and a 6.0 to go to 1st. So time will tell. 6 minutes to go.
Tell you, wouldn't be too happy with the time. All the scoreboards, Jake Stone at the moment. He said I think you described it as a shocker, but it's not all coming together, and he needs a 9.75 just to jump into 2nd. So Jake, he's got the work out of him.
He does. He got a 2nd in his first heat, so he was sort of going all right. But with a 4th here, he'd really need to win his last one, I'd assume. Yeah,
no, most definitely. We've seen with the leaderboard, it's sort of typically that bubbles around 10 or 11 points. So if you can get 3 seconds, you're really comfortable, or you want to at least get 12 points, then you don't have to stress.
Yeah, that's true.
But you won your heat, Winnie, so you'd be happy with the 1st or 2nd in your next one, eh?
Oh,
so you can
definitely. Here goes Pierre. Oh, big clean roll. He opted for not the backflip there, so I reckon he would have surprised the judges on that one a little bit. Like, well, roll.
Wow.
So yeah, I think he should get that 4.25, and he'll definitely be in 2nd. I'm not sure about the 1st though. Got the replay of the lefts have such a nice solid bowl on them. Look at that corkscrew roll.
And as the tide comes up, the lefts become more of an option. And look, Pierre surfed that smart. He knew he only needed a 4.25 to move into 2nd, and so he didn't go for the high risk manoeuvre. He just needed a nice solid roll, and he'd done that. He slid into 2nd place, and still 5 minutes to go, so he wouldn't be safe. But he's one of the world title contenders, and we'll map it out here. But he said, talk us through this, Winnie.
So Jeff Harvey's been on fire all year, and he's on top. So everyone says his to lose, but then there's the young Frenchman at 21, Pierre. He's coming through. Nice beard too.
Look at this
And
bloke.
who's in third? Hardballs. Everyone says the best rider not to win a world title, so we'll see if he can get one. And there's GT, 6 times world champion. So, I mean, he's been here before. There's no pressure on him. He can do it, I think.
Yeah, look, he was surfing really well. I was surprised. I think he ended up with a third in his second round, and which was surprising because he actually surfed really well in his heat. It was probably the highest scoring heat of the whole competition, of today's competition at least. And I think he only finished with a third. And I think he saw Gastow and Edar Luciano knock him, and so there you go. But he's got the scenario up on the screen. 3 minutes 45 remaining. Jason Finlay holds down the lead with a 13-point combination score. In second place, we've got Pierre-Louis Costes, the Frenchman, the world title contender. He needs a 6.0 to leap into first and book himself a guaranteed place in the round 4. Yeray Martinez, the local, he opened up with a third yesterday. He's looking down the barrel of a third again, and he won't be happy with that because this is his home break. He had big goals and big plans to do something special. Jake Stone winning, combo land.
Yeah, comboed for first and second. He's got a nice temper on him, Stoney. He's got some highs and lows, so I think this will be one of his lows. He'd be pretty angry. Finlay actually had priority there, so he's whipped a spin on the takeoff and he's looking for something big on the end. Big invert out of the bowl.
Wow, that's great.
Finlay, I
surfing.
think he's just cemented his first place, and Pierre's going to need more than a 6 to catch him now after that one. That was nice surfing, and as we said, he opts for the not many waves, but just the good ones, whereas Pierre's had, how many waves did he had? He's probably had about 10 there nearly.
Yeah, he's getting on. Wow, he actually got to be careful because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually believe that Pierre has used his entire wave count. It's your best 2 scores of 10, and I think he's clocked in 10, so Pierre cannot improve that score.
Here goes Jake on this foamy one. He's probably going to look for something in the bowl.
And nothing
No,
there, but
he's
look at
got
these scores
nothing.
dropping for Jace Finlay. We need.
Oh, Finlay with an 8. Here we go on the replay. He must have had priority because he just took that off Stoney. He'd whipped a forward in on the takeoff, but we knew something big was coming in. And I mean, he could have opted for the barrel there, but he wanted something different and raced out of the bowl and got a nice up to it early and nice clean invert out of the bowl. Nice flight timing, and that would have felt the ribs.
Yeah, no,
felt
that'll
that.
soften him. I mean, he's right in the NMD boards now, new team member.
Yeah, I know. It's good to have him on there. He's surfing well, so he actually sent me and Benny an email going, I'm riding for NMD now. I hope you guys are all right with it. And I was like, we'll just put you on the same deal. We'll put the last young guy. You got to take fins and leashes. You're like our board caddies for the tour. But I actually bring him boards here, so.
There you go. He's taken control already.
I know he has.
Yeah, no, great to see him here, and again, great to have the support by NMD, Pride and Stealth, and our media partners, Grand Flavour. You and I are decked out here, Winnie, in the Grand Flavour gear. I've got the right pocket number here, and with my calculator in the pocket as it looks.
Do the maths, see how many waves Pierre's caught on the calc.
I've blown it out, actually. He's gone to 10, so Pierre's had to come in. Lucky I had the calculator in the pocket, and so now it's up to Yeray Martinez. He's looking for a 6.26 in the last minute to jump into second place. Let's see what can happen, but Jake Stone still, he's caught. Jake Stone's caught a few waves too. I have to get out the calculator, but he's still got a couple up his sleeve. But a higher score of a 1.5 on his wave. So, again, he might be a little bit tense this afternoon.
Oh, definitely. Mitch was pretty angry yesterday after his heat, and he had a 4-point total.
Yeah.
And he's so, I mean, Jake's only got a 3, so I don't really want to laugh about it because it could happen to me, but he'll be angry.
Yeah, no, it's as you said, there's a couple of these guys aren't here for world title contention, but they're still super competitive, and they want a good outcome. But Jake's going to try to pull something here. Let's talk through this, Winnie.
He's been on these lefts all day, so you can see him stalling up. Hopefully this bends in on the reef, but again, not much is happening. So Stoney with a 3 total.
Oh, Yeray.
Sorry, mate.
Did Yeray Martinez get up in time on this? He needs a 6.26. I doubt that's going to offer anyway. So Pierre holds down second, caught 37 waves and still held down second, but there you go. I think that is how it will finish up. Jace Finlay from Australia, the wild card. He finished first with undoubtedly the strongest surfing of the heat and maybe of the day. Pierre-Louis Costes, world title contender, 2 seconds. He's on 8 points now. He needs at least he probably needs to finish second again in round 3 to be
Yeah.
safe. So, look, he's got probably a restless night ahead of him.
Yeah, Pierre, a third would take him probably to the bubble. I mean, it could be safe, but we just have to wait and see.